What's going on, guys? It's Spud here and welcome to the yearly video. It is F1 predictions. This is the 2026 season. We've got new regulations, we've got new drivers. It's going to be an interesting one as we're a bit unsure on who's going to be top of the bunch really early on. It was requested by someone. Someone asked where they were. I said I'd do them. I have got other videos coming out this week. To be honest, I'm recording this on Monday. I'm going to have it out on Tuesday. But what I will say is I wanted to do my I wanted to do my UEFA predictions today as well, but the brackets aren't working and I wanted to use the brackets on the UEFA websites just because it looks a bit better. If they're not working by like tomorrow afternoon, I am just going to record it a bit differently though, because I want to get it out. And obviously I've got the roundup coming as well, but there's some big news. Um, in the Call of Duty scene potentially, or it's just clickbait. But I don't want to do a recording just yet. I want to wait to see what it is, which I'm sure you can understand. If you're new though, please subscribe to the channel. But I will be honest, we don't really do F1. We used to stream F1. We used to run our own F1 league, but we don't actually do F1 really on the channel. It is just for the early predictions. We've also got the hat back out, the Albon Red Bull hat. I've not worn for a while. Let's see how Albon does this year. Just so you are aware as well, my predictions are completely unbiased um, from the get-go, just so you're aware of that. So I'm not going to put Albon first, because if you are new, I am an Alex Albon and a Red Bull fan. So obviously I am going to be cheering on for Verstappen and Isaac Hadjar as well, as you'd expect. But Albon is obviously my go-to. I hope Williams can have a good year. They had a really good year last year. Albon had a really good finish. It finished 7th in the standings. Was it 7th or was it 8th? Uh, this is really bad knowledge. It makes me look like a plastic. Both Mercedes finished ahead of him, both Ferraris, a Red Bull, and both McLaren. He finished 8th. But P8 was a good showing from Albon. Obviously, Sainz finished P9. Sainz had a better second half of the season than Albon. Like, I'll fully admit that Albon was outclassed for a few of the races. But Albon was better at the start of the season, and Albon and Sainz is obviously a good little partnership. Now, we're only going to be doing our driver predictions. I will tell you who I think is going to win the Constructors' Championship during this video, but I'm not going to be doing like a Constructors' ranking like I did last year. We are as well going to be doing this on Tier Maker this year as well, rather than like Google Slides. So let's get straight into it. So, obviously we've got all the drivers here. You can briefly see their names. It is quite small, to be honest, but you can tell who it is based for the pictures. And obviously I'm going to say the names, so that probably helps a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to do this on. Well, no, we'll have to do this in order of 22nd onwards. The problem is I haven't actually fully thought about it going into this video, so it is going to be a bit of a random one in terms of, yeah, there might be a couple of people I might change after I've actually done the tier list. So I really don't know who's going to come last. This is the problem, like I've watched like 30 minutes of F1 testing. It's so hard to think who's going to come because Aston Martin are in a really bad position. But let's be honest, Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso will not be in the bottom when the season ends. Like, it's pretty obvious. Stroll might be towards the bottom, yeah, but like, I'm not putting them dead last. So the person I'm going to put dead last is going to be. I rate him, but I just don't know how this season's going to go for him. I don't know. I don't want to put Arvid Limbad. This is the problem with like doing it like this. I just don't know. Like, because Cadillac could be rubbish. You don't know. You don't know how Audi are going to be. Obviously, I know it was Sauber last year, but right. I'm going to put Colapinto last. I'm going to put Colapinto last. That might be harsh, of course, that might be quite harsh, but I needed to put someone last, and I don't want to put Arvid Lindblad last. So I'm going to put Colapinto last. 21st, I am going to put... I am going to put Valtteri Bottas. I just think that... I do think that Cadillac are going to struggle in their first year, but that's just normal for a team to struggle in their first year in F1. I don't think Bottas is a bad driver particularly, but I'm just going to put him there. I am going to put Perez in 20th. I think I think he will be better than Bottas, but again, I think Cadillac probably won't have the best of cars. And then I am going to put Lance Stroll in 19th. It's crazy I was going to put Lindblad near the bottom. I'm glad I changed my mind on that. Lance Stroll 19th. I think Aston Martin are going to struggle to start the season off and he won't get any points for a while. And then he'll have one or two really good races, most likely. You've got to remember there's obviously an extra 2 cars on the grid this year. So it is going to be a bit more difficult, potentially. In 18th, I will put Arvid Lindblad. I think that Lawson will beat him comfortably this year, but I just hope that Red Bull will give Lindblad a chance because obviously he's a talented driver. But I don't know how many points. I feel like he'll be someone that will get like the odd point now and then. The same with the driver that I'm putting in 17th, which is Gabriel Bortoleto. I just don't know what Audi's going to be like. Honestly, I think this is, with it being new regs, I think it's the hardest time to predict standings. In all honesty, it is going to be a bit more difficult. And you've got to remember that my F1 knowledge at the moment in time isn't the best because I do watch MotoGP more than F1. I wish I'd done a MotoGP prediction, but the season's already started now, and it was a really nice race in Thailand at the weekend. So, P16 is going to be... Nah, I don't want to put Pierre Gasly. I'm going to put Liam Lawson. No, no, I'm not. This is what I mean. It's so difficult. Right. I'm going to put in P16 Pierre Gasly. And this is not because Pierre Gasly's a bad driver, because I think he's very good. I just think that Alpine are going to be one of the worst teams again this season, and there'll be a lot of races where they're not going to score points, especially with there being 2 extra cars on the grid. But Gasly will get a few points finishes. Of course he will, just not as many as he probably deserves, because he is a talented driver. So P15, I am going to put... P15, I am going to put Liam Lawson. The only reason that I think Liam Lawson will finish ahead of Pierre Gasly is because Racing Bulls will have a better car. That's the only reason for me. P14, there's a couple of people I'm looking at here for P14. There's 4 people that I'm looking at here potentially to finish in P14. The driver I'm going to go for is going to be Fernando Alonso, and this is just because I think that Aston Martin are in a real problem, but he will be able to get a couple of results now and then because of how good he is. But I am going to go with a very unfortunate P14 for Fernando Alonso. To start off with the third tier, P13, I'm going to put Nico Hulkenberg. He was obviously one of the other drivers I was considering here, but yeah, Nico Hulkenberg, P13. In P12, I'm going to put Ollie Behrman. I think Ollie Behrman is a solid driver for Haas, and I'm happy to put him there. In P11, I'm actually going to go for Isaac Hadjar. So Isaac Hadjar will not get in the top 10 for me. I think he will have a better season than Yuki Tsunoda obviously did for Red Bull. But I still don't expect a fantastic season from Hadjar. But I think he will show progress, and then that obviously I'm hoping that whatever happens, Red Bull will give him another season just so that he's um at least had a season under his belt and they're not just going to throw him under the bus. To round out the top 10, I am going to go. To round out the top 10, to start the top 10, I am going to go with Esteban Ocon to finish in P10. Um, yeah, it was a tough one. You could argue that I don't know which Haas driver will finish ahead of each other, but I'm going to go with Ocon to finish ahead of Behrman this season, but only by a couple of places. You know, I think anyone in that tenth to honestly like 10th to 19th. Honestly, it could be anyone. Like it's so hard to predict this is. I have no idea what Cadillac are going to be like because, like I said, they've got good drivers, but I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know what they're going to be like, and it's difficult. To go in ninth, I am going to go with Alex. I do think Sainz will beat Albon this year. I did predict Sainz to lose to Albon last year, but obviously Albon had a really good start to the season. He picked up some really nice P5s, P4, a couple of P4s I think as well. Obviously didn't get a podium where Sainz did get a couple. Obviously it's disappointing. I'd love to see Albon on the podium. I've not seen him on the podium in an F1 car since 2020, which was in Bahrain, and obviously got one in Mugello as well. But I think it's going to be another solid season for Albon where he picks up points, goes for a different strategy type of thing, and solid F1 driver. Obviously, I'd love to see him on that podium, but I think that will be out of reach this season. So then we have our top eight. So we have got both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Mercedes, Max and Carlos Sainz. I will put Carlos Sainz in eighth. Um, I think he'll beat Albon by like 20, 30 points maybe this season. So a bit more of a gap. But I would be surprised if Albon and Sainz weren't in the top 10, but you just don't know what car Williams did have problems before testing. So we have to see what they are like, because obviously they did put a lot of effort into the 2026 car and it started off badly. In seventh place, I am going to go with Kimi Antonelli. Again, he's still very, very young. He's a raw product. And I think it'll be another P7 finish for him. But I wouldn't. I think he can, get a couple of podiums type of thing. Honestly, I just don't know who's going to finish where. It is difficult. Um, in P6, I am going to go with Lewis Hamilton. Just for me, I think he'll do okay this season, but I don't think he'll be near Leclerc. I think he is past his best, and this isn't me being a hater or anything. It is just me being honest. Um, P5. Um, and I don't know. I can't put Max in fifth. Look, I don't think Max is going to win the title. I don't think Red Bull are going to be good enough. Like, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't think Red Bull will be good enough to win the title. But at the same time, I really don't want to put Verstappen in fifth. But like I said, it is going to be unbiased. So, in fifth, I don't know what McLaren are going to be like, but I don't think McLaren. I just don't know. It's so difficult. Like, honestly, it is so difficult. I'm going to go in fifth place with George Russell. And it might be very controversial, that, honestly, like, but I'm stuck. It's so difficult to do a prediction. And to finish off this part of the tier list, P4, this is where I'm going to just go for a surprise. I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri to finish fourth in the standings. I think we saw his drop off in the second half of last season. He did struggle a lot, and especially with him having the best car on the grid. And I know people said that Norris got more favours, and maybe he did, but Norris was comfortably better than him in the second half of the season. Now, both of them were bottlers, but Norris just won it in the end. In the last race, Norris raced well, to be fair. No credit where it's due. P3, I am going to go with Charles Leclerc. I just thought if Ferrari have the best car, he could win it. But we've seen them have the best car in 2022 for quite a few races, and he just couldn't he couldn't handle the pressure against Verstappen. Um, I am gonna go Verstappen second, and I think Norris will win again. I just I don't know what McLaren's like, honestly. If McLaren have the best car, I think Red Bull are gonna not be that good, but like I think this is gonna be a comfortable. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with this. I can't change. Well, I can change it. People are going to say like never rank again type of thing, but that's just what I'm going to go with. So let me know down below what you've gone for in your predictions. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed and enjoy the F1 season. Bye for now.